What's up, Mixdown? I'm Andy Marsh from Australian death metal band The Art Is Murder, and I'm going to give you a bit of a gear tour today. We have a lot of cool stuff. We fly around the world a lot, so it's essential for us to have consistency every night, play through the same equipment, and you can't really do that with amps and cabs and mics and all that these days. So what we've done is built a compartmentalized rig. Everything goes into these little racks, and then they go into these SKB cases, which have been form fitted for us by Mental Cases, I think, somewhere in the middle of America. So I guess I'll take you through the signal chain, how it works for us. It's pretty simple. We have these Kempers. These are custom racked by a company in Chicago called BTPA. Our friend Brad and his family do everything by hand, all the soldering, all the fit outs, absolutely everything. It's completely turnkey system. So we have these are loaded with custom profiles that we make in the studio. You can see here they're called Dear Desolation. That's our latest album out on Human Warfare in Australia. So we've got my Kemper on the top, Sean's Kemper underneath, and then we have the other part of the signal chain, which is Kevin's bass rig. So what he's running there is the bass guitar comes in, gets compressed by this Cali 76 compressor. It's an 1176 style FET studio compressor. Goes into this noise suppressor and goes into this Dark Glass B7K, which provides the dirty sound. The bass is also split then from the Dark Glass in parallel and goes into this SansAmp rack mount RBI. And this provides us pretty scooped, clean bass sound, very compressed, very clean and subby. And then the Dark Glass we have gained way the hell up. And that sends two different signals to front of house, so we can totally control the mix of clean versus distorted bass, which is very handy. Before that, we come into our wireless distribution. So we're using these Sennheiser EW100G3 guitar wireless systems. Everyone has them. They go into this ASA combiner, which basically, normally this would have an antenna, this would have an antenna, this would have an antenna. All of these units go into this thing called a combiner. These things distribute AC power to the whole system, which is very convenient. We have these, what's worthy of note is that we use A-band systems. Our primary touring market is the United States, which is an A-band territory. Sometimes, because we're not in the United States, we'll put these small bunny ear antennas on, and these actually have just a smaller pickup area. These will go for a very long distance. Last night we had a bit of interference, so rather than pick up a lot of coverage, we put these ones on, and then today when we scan we'll actually switch back to our big antennas and see how we're looking. But it's like a nifty little trick. After we go through all of the microphones, guitar wirelesses, signal, we come into this. It is a Behringer X32. As much as I'm loath to say that I would ever use something by the company Behringer, they've actually provided a very cost-effective solution for the international touring artist. So we have this split provided to us by BTPA. They custom manufacture, wire everything for us. All of our signal comes into this split from the drums, guitars, bass, CJ's wireless vocals, click tracks, 808s. All feed into this thing, and then this multi-core splits these signals to the front of house console. On the back of this, we all come into this X32, and this is how we mix our in-ear mix using an iPad, which is really convenient. We also have this thing down the bottom called an S16. It's a digital expansion unit, so we have more than 16 inputs. I think we use about 30 inputs. So it's necessary for us to have the S16 that connects to the X32 via AES, which is a Ethernet cable. And then I'll show you up here, we have our iPad, and we just have sends on faders. So Lee's mix, Kevin's mix, my mix, Sean's, CJ's, guitar tech, drum tech, photographer, or friends and family. If they want to listen on in-ears, we have a mix for them also. So it's pretty cool, and you just go, this is my mix, I want more of my guitar, I can turn it up and down. We leave it somewhere in the middle of the stage so everyone can reach it during sound check. Very cool. We have our in-ears down here, which are also Sennheiser. These come out of the back of the X32, and it just comes straight into these, and they send it wirelessly to our ears. We use 1964 audio ears out of Vancouver, Washington in the United States. And they're very good to us, look after us, fix all our ears when they get broken, which happens a lot. And just FedEx stuff like total legends overnight. No matter where in the world you are, they'll get it to you. We have our playback system up here. We use a software called Mainstage, which is kind of like a plug-in extension of Logic, made by Apple. And what this does is plays our click tracks, the 808s. The songs are pretty fast, so Lee can't manually be triggering every 808 by himself. So this plays click to all our ears, 808s, any interludes, any intros, any outros, and any extra kind of ancillary guitar parts that we can't reproduce. There's a lot of synths and stuff on the album, so we'll put those in the backing tracks and whatnot. It's not playing guitar for us, although that would be way better than how we play. We would rather just suck. So it's pretty cool. The laptop controls that. You just click through and play each song. Our Guitar Tech Chops handles that. That comes out of this little rig here. We've got a Motu Ultralight 16. Splits out onto our back panel, and then we have 4 channels that come out into our X32. Click track, 808, and backing track left and right. The reason that we use Mainstage instead of just having some random audio playback is that night to night, certain parts might be too loud or too quiet that we notice in terms of drum effects, like drum reverbs that we trigger through Mainstage, 808s in particular songs, particular synths, or ambient guitar parts. So we have faders for all of those, and they feed through to 2 channels, so we can mix them night to night depending on how we notice in soundcheck that it translates in the venue or on a particular PA or whatnot. So that is it basically for our spaceship. I recommend that anyone try and achieve this sort of setup for if you're aiming to do what we do. We have the exact same guitar and bass sounds night after night. It's very cost effective. In the long run, we're not renting backline. Everything weighs either 23 kilos or 32 kilos exactly. And it's all protected in these beautiful SKB foam fitted cases which have wheels, much better than carrying a rack through an airport, I guarantee it. We have 16 of these cases, and I brought them through customs all by myself. And if they didn't have wheels, that would not have been a possibility. So there we have it.